Okay, well, so I'm sure most people are aware of the huge catastrophe, the mudslide in OSO, Washington, near Arlington Road. I want to show you something that I've just discovered, and it's kind of shocking, and I think everybody needs to be made aware of it, because it's most likely the reason why this mudslide happened. I'm convinced in my mind that it is absolutely the cause of this mudslide. If you go to Google Earth, look, just put in OSO, OSO, in the search, you'll come to this view here. This is an older date. This is from 2003. On Google Earth, there's a little clock, and on icon, you can click it. Okay, and this is what it looks like, what you'll get there. So you click the icon, and you can play with, and this window comes up here, and you can play with different imagery on different dates, and it's labeled by month and year. So let's go, so let's assume you got to OSO, go upstream to the east. I'm going to follow the meanders here until we arrive at the area. Here it is. And I'm going to get this centered. This is the bend in the river, and this is what gave way. This section right here, all along here. In fact, it went up into the tree line, all the way up to here, and all the way down here. So everything in here is gone now, all the way out past OSO, or past Arlington Road, all the way to this power line cut, and then even out in here. In fact, I think this is the edge of it, is the eastern edge of it was somewhere around here, I believe. So many people have perished, especially people in this area, on this little peninsula here. There's at least, I think there's about 25-30 houses, and maybe as many as 70 houses. There's already reports of people dead. They don't know exactly how many, but it keeps rising. I think right now it's at 10, but there's 176 people missing, so expect that to rise. So why did this happen? I'm back here in 2003, on January, February, March, what is this, May of 2003, and you have to look at the cuts. This is uphill from this area here. This is the area of subsidence. It's sort of a horseshoe shape. The cuts, logging cut, which are clear cuts, is short for, is when they completely cut the entire area. What happens when you do that is you have tremendous amounts of erosion taking place in the rainy season, which is in Washington, in BC, pretty much from October until May. Alright, there's a huge rain season. Well, that's okay if it's left on its own and if it's in an undisturbed forest. Forests are perfect for anchoring the soil and the soil structure and the landscape. Everything's anchored by forests. If you cut it off, that's like it's like removing the rebar from a building. It'll just collapse. It can't shed the water. It can't absorb the water. I'm sorry, I just said shed. It can't absorb the water fast enough. Trees absorb water, and they use it for growth. A lot of it gets put right back into the atmosphere through the trees. What it keeps from happening is deep penetration into the soils. So, I mean, it's like ripping your skeleton out. Without your skeleton, you're not a firm structure. You're a blob. So you've turned this whole area into a mud basin, and you have extremely fast runoff too. If this is the top at what's this, about 925 feet, descending 900 feet, 8, 6, 5. By the time you get to this area that let go, this is all downhill. So this is what's upstream. What happens is the water, when it rains, hits this whole area here, and it runs off extremely fast. It uses roads, and it collects right on the tree lines. And what's it do? The tree line effectively dams it, stops it, but there's still all this runoff, and it's going to come all down, settle, and then it's going to pool. It's going to act like a dam, and then that's where you're going to have your water penetrating into the soil. The supersaturation occurs here. So this is your line. This is also where you would expect things to start to let go, to subside, and to slip due to adding lubrication, because you've logged it. So let's look at the dates. This is May of 2003, and let's look at the this area here. You can already see the white. This is mud. This is mud flow. This is breaking away from the landscape. Let's move now. This whole block. Watch this whole block here. This is about to disappear with a logging cut. Okay, it's gone. Okay, there's the river. Here's your cauldron. Okay, watch. I'll go back in time now. Boom. This is what it was, and then they did a cut sometime in 10th month of 2003. This has all been logged now, and immediately you get an opening up due to the runoff. This all opens up like it's going to start calving off like a glacier. And I'll zoom in on that so you can see. Okay, watch this line here. I'll go back in time. There. Watch everything here, along here. I'm going to go forward. Boom. There's your first sign of you've got problems. Back, forward. And this might not be very easy to see. I'm doing my best to just describe this to you. Go to Google Earth and see it yourself, okay? Alright, next. And we're advancing the dates. Okay, now this is very interesting. May of 2005. Somebody made a grab for timber right here, and they're going to create a pie shape. They're going to cut it. Boom, it's gone. So sometime from May to October of 2005, another big V shape was taken right above it. Now, as soon as that happens, let's watch what happens to the landslide area immediately below. I'm going to zoom in. We'll level it. Okay, watch here. Okay, I'm going to advance. Boom, there was the first big slip in October of 2005. Exactly after that pie section was logged. Back, forward. You see all this moving, okay? And it's not just a different vantage point from the satellite photos. Maintain your focus on an object somewhere here above it. It doesn't move. What does move is everything here, downward, towards the river. You see a widening along here of the white, which means everything is moved about 100 feet. Okay, next, I'm going to zoom out and watch what happens here. So now that's October of 2005, sort of end of summer, and yeah, okay, something big just happened there. And when was this? So July of 2006. Let's go back. There it is. Everything's there. Now watch. Forward. Everything shifted down. Watch the river. And watch what happens here. This whole slope is about to give with the spring rains. There, that was your first major landslide. There are thousands of tons of displaced, subsided mud here. Look at it, even redirected the course of the river here. It's cutting straight across here. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to back up. There we go. March of 2006. And lots of white here. Now watch. This is all going to come down here and slam up against this and then redirect the river through here. Here we go. There it is. That was a big event. And how this didn't get on like forestry department, the geological survey of the states, how they didn't notice this or weren't, like, that didn't send up red flags at that time. I really don't understand it. I don't get it. Because what happened after that, we all know. So that's 2006. You had your first major event here, and it was by no means over, as we know now. Let's go forward. It's 07, 08. And you'll notice this is still barren here. Like, they didn't replant it either. There's no reforestation effort going on there. It was cut in 05. That's 2008. Notice all around here, this has been replanted. 9. There, you can even see the rows. This is, this is all tree replanting. Little trails. But this big pie shape, which leads directly to this cone shape here, inverted cone. I mean, that's what you see at river outlets and everything. You can see where this is draining to. This is sheeting right down through here and destabilizing this whole slope. And no reforestation. 10, 11, and that's it. Pretty incredible. You can see all these houses. Everything here is gone. Gone. And all because of what was going on directly above. And you can even see over here that there's an event happening there too. And a second one coming up. There's another one, and that's recent. That was in July of 2013 when this gave through. Here's the slope. There's the triangle. Anyway, now you know why it happened. It's not oversaturation. Pacific Northwest has always been oversaturated. Same with British Columbia. That's what it does here, is it rains. The only problems happen when there's human intervention and clear cutting. Careless poorly managed clear cutting practice, where the geologists are not in sync with the forestry department. This was a preventable accident, and I think some people need to be held accountable, because this is not an act of God. Right? No, this has nothing to do with an out of the blue occurrence. These things just don't happen by themselves. They're encouraged by other events. It's like there's no accidents. Same thing applies here. Well, look at the fresh cut up here, which also leads down this way though, into this creek system, but wouldn't doubt that might have had an effect on it too. But certainly this triangle cut was the one that first gave way to this whole landslide here. And then finally we have what happened. Anyway, if you don't believe me, go see it for yourself. Go to Google Earth. It's all right there. And the satellite images do not lie. Everything you need here. You can change your point of view. You can zoom in close. And it is really neat. Go in close and watch. Go back and forward in time, and you can watch the separation happening. Okay, you can see it sliding. You can see where the trees actually ride down the slope. You can see things happening. Hindsight is 20/20, I guess. But there's no excuse for negligence, I think, especially when it involves people's deaths. A lot of people died, and yeah, sorry for that.